the bigger the auditorium, more people can come.
Of course.
And the speakers. I mean, remember we used to have a lot of speakers in Portland and whatnot?
Yeah.
So I want to coordinate them coming and speaking because it's not just all about me, but a forum type of a situation that can be done. It just needs some people to spearhead it, because there are people come up to me saying they want to volunteer for something, and I really don't even know what to tell them to do. So if enough people that are passionate about this stuff come together and develop some sort of a think tank or working group, definitely.
Well, this will be like an interim place until, since you said this first place you have is closing. So, listen, I wish you luck. I've come to this kind of late, and, you've been doing this for 5 years. I've been listening to you for the last 6 months or so, but I'll definitely, keep track of you in the show.
Okay, thank you. I'll be back next week. I'm working on things like trying to find a camera, trying to find a laptop, exploring what my options are without funding to keep the show going. Not whining about it, but letting you know the seriousness of the situation, how hard I have to work to, keep it afloat. And right now, things are very volatile. And so hopefully I can come across those resources to film the show outside of this studio. I don't even have any studio space, actually, to shoot next week's show. I'm going to have to, be creative. But it will be my face. It will be my voice. It may not be fancy. It may not be in the studio. But it's still going to be information vital to your survival in the new millennium. This is Conspiracy World by Tex Mars. I woke up in tears today thinking about all this stuff going on and memories of this place, and all the stuff that's happening so fast. But sometimes, again, I realize sometimes the universe wants to get us moving if we're stuck. And I have felt a little bit stuck for a while, so, in a way it's good. It's kind of order out of chaos, if you will. Not to sound Masonic or anything. Ooh. But Conspiracy World by Tex Mars, brightened up my day. He sent me his new book. I guess we're going to have him on the show soon. So on some of those tape shows, when I can get in the studio, we are definitely going to have some amazing guests coming on the show. We have phone calls. Bill, go ahead and go to the next one. We'll talk with the next caller. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, good evening. I was watching, and one of the callers called up about high fructose corn syrup, and they were talking about how some of that stuff is laced with mercury, and then there's other things like hydrogenated oils. When that stuff is everywhere, how are you supposed to avoid that? Because every time I go to the store and I want to buy something, I'll look at the ingredients, and if it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup, it's got cottonseed oil or hydrogenated oil or lots of trans fat, and there's just like all this gunk and nastiness in the food.
It's even in some of the breads. The cheap, generic Safeway Fred Meyer bread has corn syrup in it. I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. So the suggestions I have, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have corn syrup. Eating healthier grains instead of just the white rice. Looking at quinoa and some other things, amaranth, a lot of fruit, things of that nature. More vegetables, myself included. We need to stay hydrated. Drinking good water. And storing it in glass containers for one thing. And so I'm talking about a variety of things that we should do for our own health. Putting water out in sunlight helps restructure it, by the way, because, water is a store of memory, and all the trauma of going through the pipes literally goes into our body. Think about that energy coming from the shower every single day when you get underneath all that chlorine. And so it's about a lot of stuff, sir, and I say do some research. You don't even have to buy any books. There's a lot of powerful information online in terms of how you can eat affordably, organic affordably. And so some things you're not going to be able to afford to eat. There's some things I can't afford to eat, but there's some things out there that do have a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of carbohydrates and nutrients and amino acids that your body needs to stay alive. And so it's going to take research and kind of like a re-education for a lot of us that have made some poor eating choices over the years.
I remember this lady was talking to me about something called cleansing, where it helps clear the body of free radicals. Do you know anything about that?
I've been thinking about doing a segment on this for a while. I should take more phone calls because it prompts things I've been meaning to talk about. I'm not familiar with that, but antioxidants, olive leaf extract is one thing I want to recommend in terms of preventative against the flu. It's also recommended for people that have HIV or AIDS because of how it destroys the amino acids that build and destroy the body. I can't scientifically explain how this works, but I've done actually hours of research on it. Ironically, Israel is cutting down the olive trees in Gaza, their main source of income. Even the olive tree is referenced in the Bible. Historically, it's been used as a naturopathic aid to cure the body of bacteria, viruses, fungi, candida, things of that nature, which a lot of people have, yeast infections, skin infections. And so that's one thing of a lot of things to look at. In terms of colloidal silver, get the nano silver. Just be aware of what company that you're buying from and the reputation. There are definitely some brands that are better than others. So many different things I can mention on that front. All right, Bill, you said there's another caller? We're going to take that call, and then we're going to play the Doors. That's right, we're going to play Ghost Song, a song performed by the Doors. And you take a breather, relax a little bit, and we'll be back and cover some other things. But first, let's go to that phone call.
Alex.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Love your show. Been watching it, telling all my friends, trying to scare people straight, bro.
And hopefully guide them. Once they get scared, I'll try and make my point short because I want to hear from you. To move it into action, people are so bombarded with so many fears out there and people crying wolf, that when the real threat comes and someone really is warning them, they shut down. And a lot of people are doing that when I try to even calmly educate them about some of this stuff. And so it's important to realize, to give them some facts about what's going on, some suggestions about coming together and thinking about the future in terms of preparedness.
Well, I am an 11-year member of the Fraternal Order of Eagles of East Portland, right on 50th and Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Right across the street from the theater. We have ample room. I'm sure we can make some kind of accommodations. You may have to become a member, but we do good things. We're mostly a community service.
Right.
We do a lot of stuff. Me and my brother, we're selling Christmas trees out there during Christmas for the Oregon Food Bank. You might have saw us out there. But JFK was our most famous eagle, and I'm sure we could come together and figure something out. Me and my brother love what you're doing, and, we need to get this information out there so that people understand that this isn't a governmental thing. This is a corporational thing. That's what's being taken. Corporations are running our government.
Language can still get in the way. It's a little more involved in corporations. Let me say this about 66 and 67. I think the issue is how we're going to fight over the scraps that are left instead of taking a look at how we got here. And so, people go, yay, yes, on 66 and 67, they say it's all about the corporations, but is it? Is every corporation bad? Is every corporation imperialistic? And the answer is no. But sometimes it sounds that way because, you got Coca-Cola and all these injustices going on, mercenary corporations, but it's not all corporations. I agree with you, but I think it's more complicated than that.
I agree, 100%. And we could probably figure out maybe a live studio show, even when we have a huge area there. I'm sure we could rig up cameras and stuff, but, it's set up for bands and stuff like that, but I think we could have a really good forum with you there and just dropping knowledge on people and letting people know what's really going on. And
I appreciate you trying to help. So
yeah, I appreciate the show. I tell all my friends every Thursday, 7 o'clock. I've been showing all my buddies your website, and one of the best things you ever said that stuck in my mind. You said, I'm just dropping, I'm giving you facts, I'm giving you information. Once you hear it, you can't forget it. You can't unhear it. Go out, do your own information.
A person cannot unhear something once they've heard it. We're planting seeds. They may spit in our face today. They'll remember what we warned them about.
Exactly. And that's, I just appreciate that because it's like you've turned me on to a bunch of stuff, and then I tell my friends, my family, and then it just continues to grow. And the Monsanto thing, that's one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
Terminator seeds. The Monsanto death seed. We're going to run the world. Seed corporations, doomsday seed vault. We're starting to connect the dots. They don't want us eating our own food. They want us eating their food.
Well, the ironic thing about Monsanto, especially with the potatoes, is McDonald's dominates the potato industry because they are the number one consumer of potatoes. And here's this company that's practically killing us, yet they did the moral high ground and decided not to take the GMO potatoes. So, it's just ironic, these little things, but Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm trying to have fun on the last